Let me ask you a question. If a machine could listen to your problems, understand your fears, comfort you when you're lonely, and tell you exactly what you wanted to hear, would you eventually begin trusting it more than people? It sounds like something from a science fiction film, but for some people, that future is already here. Artificial intelligence is now writing books, creating artwork, holding conversations, giving advice, and in some cases, beginning to take the place of real human interaction. And while many people are fascinated by what AI can do, I think there's a much deeper question we should be asking. What happened to us psychologically, emotionally, and perhaps even spiritually when machines begin to imitate humanity itself? Could AI help us? Absolutely. But could it also increase loneliness, anxiety, emotional disconnection, and even create a crisis of identity? Well, today, I want to explore that with you. Not from a place of fear, not from a place of panic, but from a place of awareness, balance, and understanding. Because technology can be an extraordinary tool, but if we're not careful, we may gradually lose sight of what it means to remain deeply human. Welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Dominic Beirne. For more than 35 years, I've worked as a psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, and trainer, helping people navigate anxiety, trauma, depression, stress, emotional pain, and many pressures of the modern life. And one thing I've learned over those years is this: people rarely have pain because they lack information. Most people already know what they should do. What they often need is connection, understanding, compassion, a sense of meaning, and a genuine human presence. Which brings us directly to today's subject. Because whether we realize it or not, artificial intelligence is already beginning to shape the way we think, communicate, work, learn, and perhaps even the way we understand ourselves. So today, I'd like us to step back from the headlines, look beyond the technology, and ask a much bigger question. As machines become more intelligent, can we remain deeply human? Human history has always been shaped by technological change. The Industrial Revolution changed how we worked. The Information Age changed how we communicated. But this feels different because this isn't simply changing what we do, it's beginning to change who we relate to. For the first time in history, millions of people can interact daily with something that appears intelligent, responsive, understanding, and sometimes even caring. But appearance and reality are not the same thing. AI can simulate empathy, but it cannot experience empathy. It can generate comforting words, but it cannot feel compassion. It can imitate understanding, but it cannot truly understand human pain in the way another person can. And that's where I think we need to be careful. Because as human beings, we don't heal through information alone. We heal through relationship, through presence, through feeling seen, heard, and through genuine connection. And if we forget that, we may lose sight between what feels real and what truly is real. Now here's the strange thing. We are more connected than ever before. We can message anyone, anywhere, at any time. And yet loneliness continues to rise. More people are reporting feelings of isolation, disconnection, and emotional emptiness than ever before. Now please understand, I'm not suggesting AI has no benefit. It has. For someone struggling with isolation, social anxiety, or simply needing somewhere to organize their thoughts, AI may offer great support. But there's a profound difference between feeling understood and being understood. A machine can sound caring, but it cannot care. It cannot sit with your pain, share your joy, or look into your eyes and truly know what you're going through. Real relationships require vulnerability, patience, compromise, sometimes disagreement. They're not always easy, but often it's those very challenges that helps us grow. Because deep down, the nervous system knows the difference. We were designed for connection, not simulation. Another concern is that we may begin treating ourselves like machines. Think about how often we are encouraged to optimize everything. Our productivity, our sleep, our habits, our performance, our attention, our emotions. Our lives have become increasingly measured, tracked, analysed, and evaluated. Somewhere along the way, many people stopped asking, am I happy? And they started asking, am I productive enough? Am I successful enough? Am I enough? And that's the dangerous shift. Because human beings were never designed to function like machines. We need rest, reflection, connection, creativity, meaning. And yet so many people now feel guilty for slowing down, guilty for resting, guilty for simply being human. In my work as a therapist, I see people pushing themselves harder and harder, and yet feeling increasingly empty. Not because they're failing, but because they have become disconnected from the things that truly bring them to life. The danger isn't that AI becomes more human. The danger may be that human beings begin thinking of themselves as machines. Many people focus on the jobs AI may replace, but I think the deeper issue is meaning. Because work isn't just about earning money. For many people, it's where they contribute, create, help others, solve problems, feel useful, feel valued. And when those things begin to disappear, people can start asking difficult questions. Who am I? Where do I belong? What value do I bring? Because human beings need more than comfort. We need meaning. We need reason to get out of bed in the morning. We need to know our lives matter. And perhaps this leads us to the deepest question of all. What does it really mean to be human? For centuries, we have defined ourselves by intelligence, creativity, language, problem solving, and imagination. But now machines can write stories, compose music, create art, and hold conversations. So perhaps our humanity was never about intelligence alone. Perhaps it found in our ability to love, to care, to forgive, to seek truth, to find meaning in pain, to connect soul to soul. These are qualities no machine can have. And perhaps that's where our focus needs to be. Not on competing with technology, but on developing what makes us uniquely human. So, what do we do? Do we reject technology? No. I don't think that's realistic. Technology has brought extraordinary benefits, but I do believe we need balance. We need to protect the things that keeps us emotionally healthy. Real conversations, friendship, family, community, faith, nature, creativity, purpose. We need moments when we can step away from the screens, from our phones, and reconnect with the world around us. Because while AI may continue to evolve, the deepest psychological need remains remarkably unchanged. We still need belonging, meaning, connection, love, and understanding. The challenge isn't learning how to live with AI. The challenge is learning how to live with AI without forgetting what makes us human. As I reflect on where all this may be heading, I find myself returning to one simple thought. Perhaps the real question isn't how intelligent will AI become? Perhaps the real question is, can we remain fully human while living alongside it? Because the future may not depend solely on what machines can do. It may depend on whether we remember who we are. Whether we choose connection over isolation, meaning over performance, present over distraction, humanity over convenience. Because in a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence, our greatest strength may not be our ability to think, it may be our ability to feel, to care, to love, to understand, to heal, and to connect with one another, soul to soul. And no machine, no matter how advanced, can ever fully replace that. Now, if this video gives you something to think about, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment below. How do you think AI is affecting our lives, our relationships, and our mental health? And if you're new here, please consider subscribing for more videos on psychology, emotional well-being, hypnosis, and personal growth. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can always buy me a coffee using the link down below. On that note, until the next time, as always, remember to be kind to yourself and kind to others. I'm Dominic Beirne, wishing you all better mental health and emotional well-being. I hope to see you in the next video.